Hello friends and welcome to edupediaworld.com. In today's video we are going to take a look at some relevant people and artists in Spain and Latin America. Algunas personas artistas relevantes en España y Latinoamérica. As you may know or not, I don't know, there are many people, important people in the history of Spain and Latin America. But I just picked some of them, some men and women that I thought could be representative from some countries. I know I'm missing some countries, but this is a language class. This is a language lesson. This is a language lesson. This is not a historical lesson. So, if you want to know some more about relevant people, right, and Hispanic world, just go for it and Google them, because there are so many histories and stories, and so many interesting people. Let's get started. Vamos a empezar. We're going to start with Pablo Neruda. Probably you have known about him, okay? Pablo Neruda nació en 1904 y murió en 1973. So, Pablo Neruda was born in 1904 and he passed away in 1973. Era original de Chile. He was originally from Chile. Fue Premio Nobel de Literatura en 1971. He won the Nobel Prize of Literature in 1971. Era poeta, diplomático y político. Poeta, diplomático y político. He was a poet, a diplomat, and a politician. Es mundialmente conocido por 20 poemas de amor y una canción desesperada. He is globally known by 20 love poems and a song of despair. I recommend you that if you haven't read it. Yes, you have to go for it and read 20 love poems and Song of Despair, even in English. It is really beautiful. Frida Kahlo. Probably you have heard of her. Frida Kahlo nació en 1907 y murió en 1954. Frida Kahlo was born in 1907 and passed away in 1954. Era original de México. She was originally from Mexico. Fue una pintora y poetisa. Pintora y poetisa. She was a painter and a poet. Okay? So she was famous for her paintings of herself. Okay? As you can see on the top right of the screen, that's one of her famous paintings, and she was the first Mexican artist woman. Okay, she was the first Mexican woman who was successful and succeeded in Europe and outside Mexico. And just keep in mind that it was a harsh time for women to be artists back then. Okay. Rigoberta Mench. Rigoberta Mench nació en 1959 en Guatemala. Rigoberta Mench was born in 1959 in Guatemala. Es Premio Nobel de la Paz. Ganó el Premio Nobel de la Paz en 1992. She won the Nobel Prize of Peace, or the Peace Nobel Prize, in 1992. Rigoberta Mench es líder indígena, defensora de derechos humanos y embajadora de buena voluntad de la UNESCO. So Rigoberta Mench is an indigenous leader. She is also a human rights defender and the UNESCO's ambassador of goodwill, or goodwill ambassador. I think that's how it is actually said, the goodwill ambassador. So Rigoberta Mench is one of most relevant current, right, women in Latin America. Mario Vargas Llosa. Mario Vargas Llosa nació en 1936 en Perú. Mario Vargas Llosa was born in 1936 in Perú. Es escritor y ganó el Nobel de Literatura en 2010. He is a writer and he won the Nobel Prize of Literature in 2010. Es muy famoso por La ciudad y los perros. He's really famous for The Time of the Hero, one of his novels, one of his books. And in Spanish, La ciudad y los perros would be translated into The City and the Dogs, but in English they call it The Time of the Hero. Quino y Mafalda. Quino nació en 1932 en Argentina. Quino was born in 1932 in Argentina. Y Mafalda en los años 60, también en Argentina. And Mafalda in the 60s, also in Argentina. Quino es un humorista gráfico y dibujante. He's a cartoonist and a graphic comedian. That's how you translate it, humorista gráfico, right? Es mundialmente conocido por su personaje Mafalda. He is globally known, internationally known for her character Mafalda that you can see on the screen, both with him in the picture and also next to him. The picture next to him is stating with word path, peace, path. So if you've never heard of Mafalda, if you've never read a cartoon of her, okay? She's a little kid, and she kind of questions all the time why things happen in the world. She's a political, and she's a political cartoon kind of, okay? And it is really not funny, but it makes you think quite a lot. So Kino is really, really, really famous because of this character, among others, but Mafalda is known in all countries that speak Spanish. You'll know Mafalda. Gabriel García Márquez, also known as Gabo. Gabriel García Márquez nació en 1927 y murió en 2014. So Gabriel García Márquez was born in 1927 and passed away in 2014 en Colombia. Era un periodista, escritor, novelista, guionista y editor. He was a journalist, a writer, novelist, writer, right? Screenwriter, and editor. Escribió, fue el escritor o escribió una de las grandes obras hispanas de habla española, 100 años de soledad. He was the writer of one of the biggest books in Spanish, 100 Years of Solitude. It is said that he reinvented the magic realismo mágico with this book, and it is an essential book to read. And I don't know if you know Gabriel García Márquez, but there are no words to describe this man. Isabel Allende. Isabel Allende nació en 1942 en Chile. Isabel Allende was born in 1942 in Chile. Es una escritora muy conocida. She's a really known writer. She actually currently lives in the US, between US and Chile, and she writes a lot of bestsellers, and also she also kind of like but she also applied, and she also uses the magic realismo mágico in most of her books, in a lot of her books. Es conocida por La Casa de los Espíritus y La Ciudad de las Bestias. She's really known for The House of the Spirits and The City of the Beasts, two of her books, and they're widely known all over the world, and they're pretty good ones though. Ernesto Che Guevara. Probably, if you look at the picture, you already know who he is, right? He's kind of like a symbol for Latin America, and sometimes even in Spain he becomes a symbol. Ernesto Guevara, o el Che Guevara, nació en 1928 y murió en 1967. Ernesto Guevara was born in 1928 and passed away in 1967. Nació en Argentina. He was born in Argentina. Fue un político, escritor, periodista, médico y líder guerrillero. He was a politician, a writer, a journalist, a doctor, and a guerrilla leader. He was one of the leaders of the Cuban Revolution. and also he is known to fought in Congo War, okay, and one of the wars in Congo, and he was executed in Bolivia, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken, in 1967. And he's kind of like a symbol of freedom and revolution. And yeah. Ruben Dario. Ruben Dario nació en 1867 y murió en 1916. Ruben Dario was born in 1867 and passed away in 1916. Nació en Nicaragua. He was born in Nicaragua. Fue un poeta, periodista y diplomático. Se le llamó el príncipe de las letras castellanas y es considerado el padre del modernismo literario. He was a poet, journalist, and a diplomat. Okay, he's called the prince of the Spanish or the Castilian letters, the Castilian words, and he's considered the father of the literary modernismo literario. Also a very, very, very important figure and person in the Spanish culture, in Spanish literature. Clara Campoamor. You probably haven't heard about her because she's not that known internationally, okay? But Clara Campoamor nació en 1888 y murió en 1972 en España. Clara Campoamor was born in 1888 and passed away in 1972 in Spain. Fue una política y feminista, defensora de los derechos de las mujeres y el sufragio femenino antes de la Guerra Civil Española. She was a politician and a feminist, and she was a defender of women's rights and the women's suffrage before the Civil War in Spain. She opposed the dictatorship in Spain also after the Civil War. She went to exile, and she was, if I'm not wrong, I think she was one of the first women in parliament in Spain to ever have a seat in parliament before the dictatorship. And well, these were all the famous people I had for you today. I know you're missing a lot of people. I know. I just picked some of them because there were a lot of people that it was almost insane. So well, I hope you enjoyed the video. And this was the last video, okay, of this beginner's lessons. And I hope you learned a lot. And I hope at least you got curious about Spanish and you want to learn more, got deeper into it, and also into Hispanic culture. And well, so that was all for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and hasta la próxima. See you later.